Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. So, we had the Maryland, West Virginia, and Nebraska primaries last night. They were very interesting, mainly because of the down ballot races. I'm not really a fan of the presidential races, presidential primaries. The As you know, this time of the year because Joe Biden's basically running unopposed and Donald Trump is definitely running unopposed. So in the end, it's going to look pretty interesting. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at Maryland and basically say who had the better night. Joe Biden did have I would say, an okay night. We got to keep in mind Maryland's a blue state. We know Donald Trump's not going to have an excellent performance in this state. Once again, this is a state that has rhino Republicans all over the place. So it's very important that we put that into consideration. But yeah, Joe Biden, I don't know what's going on because he's letting the uncommitted vote get to 10.4%. Now, if Nikki Haley gets double digits, to a double digit number, it's suddenly a really bad thing for Trump. But if it's Joe Biden, the Democrats go and say, oh, it's fine. Primaries don't matter. See how they go? You see how they roll. Really, I do think this does show that the uncommitted movement due to the Israel and Hamas conflict is still up and going. It's still rolling and going. So that's something to take a knowledge of. But yes, 10.4% going for a part of the uncommitted vote going for uncommitted. That's 47,408 people. Marianne Williamson, only 2%. She is a legitimate candidate. As you can see here, not a politician, but then again, still in this said race. Around 9,127 people went out and voted for her. Dean Phillips, around 6,064 people came out to vote for him. That was 1.3% of the popular vote. So far, 90 delegates going for Joe Biden. Have 5 more delegates in order to be called. We are 67% in this said race. I don't know why it's been so slow. It could be because of Maryland. Maryland is a bigger state to count all those said votes to keep in mind. But yes, you'll see Joe Biden carried majority. I would say majority and strong performance that Joe Biden did was in Prince George's County. And Prince George's County happens to be right here. It's one of the most populous counties in the state of Maryland. And it happens to be an African American county. Does this mean, oh, because Joe Biden's performing excellent in this African American county, Joe Biden's going to totally ace black voters? Not really. To be honest, Prince George's County has gotten more diverse lately, meaning more white people, more Caucasian people, thanks to people from all over, like Maryland. Become more of a popular, um, it has come more of more popular county to live in. Um, when it comes to that, 92%. And yes, then again, we got to remember Prince George's County is the most liberal county in all of Maryland. You were meaning to tell me that Baltimore is not the most liberal? Actually, it's not the most liberal. You'll see. I'm not going to pull up a link, but I could just say it. 90% of Prince George's County votes Democrat in every election. So, do you think that Prince George's County is not going to have a problem voting for Biden? Absolutely not. That's the Prince George's County. I'm just going to pull it up anyway. Prince George's County had a huge history. Well, kind of not huge, but had a recountable history of voting for Democrats. And yeah, it's right by Washington, D.C. So it's a part of that metropolitan area. 967,201 people came out to vote. No, basically holding up around that population. So close to 90. 89.26%. So regardless, it's up in the 80s, but it used to be in the 20th century, it was a little bit lower. The last time this county voted Republican was in 1972 and voted for Richard Nixon by 58.55%. That is a double digit. That's a past 20% of the victory margin. But then again, I'm a little critical. He could have done better. He could have done better. But then again, it's now reliably Democrat. 379,000 people came out to vote for Joe Biden in 2020 compared to 37,000 people voting for Donald Trump. So keep this in mind. It's a reliably, undeniably strong Democrat county. I would like to see if let's pull up 2020. Yes, it is more darker. Baltimore is the second most Democrat. But you have, let's see. By county, Prince George's is the third most Democrat county in the country. Now, unless you want to count Washington, D.C. at 92.15%, I don't think it's a county. A lot of people say it's a consolidated county. People are like, oh, it should be a state. I don't know. But county-wise, it's the second most Democrat county behind Kalawao. And Kalawao County only has like 6 people and 8 people in Hawaii. And so you can count that if you want, but the most populous county is Prince George's. It's more liberal than Manhattan, believe it or not. It's more liberal. It doesn't have more people, but it does have a wider and much aggressive victory margin. So I don't worry about Prince George going more for Biden. It's die hard, vote blue no matter who. It's something to keep in mind. So let's take a look at the Republican primary. And we are going to see. Yeah, you'll see Donald Trump did lack momentum in Montgomery and Howard counties. Now, Howard County was a county won by Larry Hogan both in 2014 and 2018. Then again, Ryan, a lot of ancestral Republicans live here, and And of course, they're going to go out and protest and vote for Nikki Haley. Let's give Donald Trump the credit. He got almost 200,000 voters coming out and voting in an election that people didn't really need to vote in. That's pretty good. There is Montgomery County. I want to believe that is the most populous county in the state of Maryland. So let's see. Maryland counties. I am right. And it has the city of Rockville. And Rockville, 67,000 people. Obviously, it's probably because of the townships. Because this county has 1 million people. And it's the only county to have 1 million people in Maryland. But yeah, loser Nikki Haley only got 285 votes in an ancestral Republican county. That's not good. And a lot of people say, oh, Trump, and they're going to be screenshotting this. Trump underperformed in Maryland. Well, we'll talk about West Virginia in a couple of days, but Trump absolutely aced it in West Virginia. And Joe Biden didn't have the best night. But overall, we can definitely tell that, yeah, Joe Biden, I think they just called a couple votes, but yeah, 80% of they said vote going in for Donald Trump. 37 delegates. Hey, guess what? At least Donald Trump won all 37 delegates compared to Joe Biden. That could be because, once again, there are more Democrats than in Maryland. There's a reason why Joe Biden's going to get way more votes than Donald Trump. This is a blue state. Duh. It's actually the third most bluest state in the whole country. More liberal than California. More liberal than Massachusetts and Vermont. So keep that in mind. So, of course, Donald Trump's not going to win in Maryland. So it doesn't really depend. It doesn't even matter how good he performs in the state of Maryland. I mean, to a certain degree, it does. But compared to a state like Pennsylvania, where he needs to perform quite well, it's not going to be that impactful. But yeah, let's give it to Trump. He carried votes 74% in Baltimore. He managed to carry the stronghold of Prince George. I thought that county would certainly be a county that Nikki Haley would see her best in, but apparently it's probably going to be Howard County, which I would not expect because it's not the most liberal. It is a Democrat stronghold by like 60%. But then again, it's not the most liberal compared to Baltimore and Montgomery and Prince George. So, very interesting. Trump's best performance could be debated between Garrett and Somerset counties. Garrett, you can see it's actually the most conservative county in the state of Maryland, believe it or not, 90%. It does have a good conservative voting record. Yeah, it's a good county. It's probably not the most populous, but it's very well influenced by the state of West Virginia. As you'll see, it has a very long border with the state of West Virginia and Pennsylvania, rural conservative Pennsylvania, bordering it to the north. Somerset County is right here. And that's on the, like I want to call the Dipper. the Little Dipper, the scooper of Maryland. You'll see 90%. It doesn't, we don't really have a point or something like that. A point some percent of a number, which is kind of annoying because I would like to know if uh, Garrett or Somerset, which one performed best for Trump. But we can definitely declare that Howard County is Nikki Haley's best as of right now. We're only 83%, and it's pretty much said and done. This is what it's going to look like. I'm hoping maybe we can get to 70. I mean, it's possible for Montgomery County. We're 83% in. It's very well possible that we can get Donald Trump to 70%, and so it can be dark red. Howard County, also possible. I mean, Donald Trump has 80% of the popular vote. So it's nothing much to fret over. But what do you guys think in regards to Maryland? Anyway, we also have very interesting and very fascinating down ballot results. We'll be taking a look at those in a couple days. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. I will see you all in the next political episode.